Welcome back everybody to Solomon Kane. I posted up the first video of the Skulls in the Stars story and there were several comments and I did some more research, and there was one fundamental mistake I'd been making, and that was that after I had used one of the virtue cards, so if you remember you have to put one card in the right hand slot, one in the left hand slot, I had misread one of the sections in the rules. I'd basically just missed it completely. I knew that you could discard these cards if you wish to populate them with a new card from your hand. What I hadn't read, what I'd missed, was that if you use one of the cards, you actually have to discard it. So you effectively you only get to use the left or the right or both card once before you discard it and use a new card from your hand to fill that space. But you'll see how that works as we go through this next video. The other thing that I've done different is on a darkness card where it says, you know, reduce strength, clarity or compassion, etc., that kind of term. And as somebody pointed out in the comments, and I think they're right. I think the way I was playing it certainly makes it more challenging, but playing it in the sense of you only reduce one of them means that I managed to finish this first chapter and I only actually had to reduce clarity by 1. Everything else is the same. So we're going to go into the next chapter in a much stronger position. What else is different? If you read the special rule, if I just turn to that chapter just to remind you all, if we look at the special rules, now the way I read this was that each time you do a move action, you place the light token, but then you also place a darkness card onto the cloud. So in effect, every time you are able to place a light token on this tracker, you actually have to take one darkness card away. And that meant that you had to use one of the virtue cards, which allows you to place a darkness card, to actually get another turn. It was quite challenging to get a bright path. I've just replayed it, and I do accept what people say. There is a full stop here after the light token, so it would appear that this is just simply a simple statement that place one darkness card onto the cloud at the start of the setup, and that's it. So I've played it through using that rule. You'll see I've still got a darkness card on the cloud because I didn't need to use it. Where I actually ended up, I'll just put the tokens back here, is that after playing through, as I suspected, quite trivial to get all of the path illuminated, but as somebody pointed out, it is the very first chapter of a new story, so possibly they've not tried to make that too hard. So all we need to do now, before we go into the next chapter, is, as we have got 5 tokens, we are going to be proceeding to 2A, but we also get the bonuses that you get when you have got multiple light tokens. So here we are. If we go to page 26 of the rulebook, you'll see that if we get 3 light tokens on Solomon's Path, we get a 1 modification. If we get 4, we get 2, and if we get 5, we get 3. So for each of those modifications, we can move danger down, or we can add a point to strength or clarity or compassion. So let's see what we should do. I think we will move clarity back up 1, back to where it was. So that's one of our 3 points used. And then I think we will use 1 more to move strength up, and let's do the last one to move clarity further. So that's our 3 modifiers used. We can now move on to the next chapter. As we had a bright path, we will be moving on to 2A.